Yes, we're back again with another action-packed edition of Sports Tonight. We're broadcasting live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. It's good to have you join us to talk sports. I'm Austin Okorakwan. Yes, it's still a recipe action-packed world of sports. So much is going down in our world of sports. On the show tonight, I will give you updates from cricket. The Nigerian national cricket team, they are getting ready for a competition where we'll put lights on it. It's called the T20 qualifiers. What is it all about? We have a former captain of the Yellow Greens, that's what they're called, the Super Eagles of Nigeria for football, the Yellow Greens for cricket. He will tell us more about that competition, and then we will put cricket on the front burner. Also on the show tonight, we'll talk about table tennis. Yes, the 2018 edition. It's the 5th edition, actually, of the Nigeria Open. An ITTF sanctioned event has served off in Lagos. And what a story. When we keep talking about the grassroots, that's the place to start. That's the place to discover talent. The Mustapha brothers, they're so young, from Borno State. That even made it sweeter. 9 and 10 years old. They thrilled spectators at the Nigeria Open. They played brilliant table tennis. We'll talk about that on the show tonight. So before the big guys get to play, the under 21s, and they're just 9 and 10, and they feature in the under 21s. That's a beautiful story. We'll talk about it on the show tonight. We will also take a look at athletics in Nigeria. Yes, after seeing Nigeria host the 21st edition of the African Athletics Championships, we cannot stop talking about athletics in the country. Yesterday, we had a special interview with former world champion Arthur Bolden. Arthur Bolden says, look, Nigeria can produce 200 million sprinters. 200 million. No, I didn't say it. Arthur Bolden, that has been there, done that with sprinting, says as he was looking at the crowd in Asaba, he says with the markets, with the population Nigeria has, that we can give the country 200 million sprinters. I don't know, it's more than Nigeria's population, but he's just saying that we are talented in any way you want to look at it, that we need to do more, that we're doing less with what we have. It wasn't just Arthur Bolden that came to Nigeria for the African Athletics Championship. Lewis Johnson, a renowned sports broadcaster in the United States of America with the NBC. I've been following Lewis forever. Lewis was also part of the team. He says, look, Nigeria is blessed. We also had a special interview with Lewis. We're going to play it tonight on the show and talk more about athletics. Usain Bolt is a phenomenon, but Usain Bolt has retired. And the question is, are we ever going to have an athlete better than Usain Bolt? Arthur Bolden has an answer for us tonight. Athletics will get our attention when we get to that one. Football will get our attention also on the show tonight as we take a look at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Nigeria's Under-20 women's team, the Falconets, they will get back to action after losing their opening match against Germany. They will take on Haiti in their second match. More like a redemption encounter for Coach Christopher Danjuma and his team. Can they beat Haiti and then go on to beat China and continue at the championship? Football will give us the answer, but we'll talk about it. And of course, the transfer season, a lot still happening. Atletico Bilbao goalkeeper Kepa, he has been paid his release clause of £71 million to La Liga, which allows him to leave the club ahead of a proposed transfer to Chelsea. £71 million. That's about 32.9 billion naira. You think football is just play the game? It's big business. And that's why when you talk about football, you don't joke about it. That's the outlook of the show tonight. And of course, whatever it is that you want to talk about, the show is designed for you. We want to hear from you. Talk to us just about anything that is going down in our world of sports. Feedback mechanisms still the same on Twitter, channels_sports, Facebook, channels, Facebook. You can send us an email, sportstonight@channelstv.com. We want to hear from you. Use the hashtag Asaba2018, hashtag athletics in Nigeria, hashtag football in Nigeria. Let's make it simple, hashtag Bolt. Can we get an athlete better than Usain Bolt? That's a tough one for athletics because Usain Bolt was a phenomenon. Let's see. Let's use hashtag FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup and show some love to the Falconets as they take on Haiti tomorrow right there in France. Can they win that one and, you know, stay positive for China? It's looking difficult, but it's football where anything can happen. Hashtag cricket. I told you, and I just national team, they will be getting ready for a cricket competition also. So that's the outlook of the show. Let's bring our guests into the discussion. My panel of analysts, they are ready. It's a Wednesday night, so Joseph Mukuzi is back in the studio. Just a good to have you supposed tonight.
Always a pleasure. And also we should add hashtag spectators as well, because we're extremely awesome, amazing. I never thought we could pull such a crowd for an athletic event. I mean, it was strange. Even football at times struggles with such an event. We must give kudos to the Asaba crowd and the way they came out. To think of the fact that they actually paid and still showed up is massive. It shows that we really have to look at ways of distributing, you know, sporting competitions around the nation and don't leave it on the major cities alone, because there's so much hunger out there, you know, to see first-class sporting events. But unfortunately, we don't get to do that. But kudos must be to the Asaba spectators for a job well done.
Okay, so that's it. We're talking about it when we're reviewing the African Youth Games and talking about other sports. We said, look, sun should not come out tomorrow and say, we're just a footballing country. We love our football. And Yabog just said, shout out, hashtag spectators in Asaba. They came out and said, look, if you give us competition, if you tell us ways we can contribute, we're going to come out. And they did.
Undoubtedly, one of the highs of Asaba 2018. It was quite amazing to see fans come out in their numbers, and like Joseph rightfully said, when you see fans come out there to watch athletics and not come out to watch Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo or John Mikel or Victor Moses, they came out to watch athletics, to watch Divine and watch Ogunlewe and watch Okabare and the likes. It was just quite wonderful. After a tournament was marred quite early with a lot of negatives, it was fantastic that it went on with the fans coming out, and quite enjoyable, and it ended on a real high. And we're very, very happy that Nigeria hosted that one.
That's right. So Asaba gave it a strong finish. All the guys talking about us, we're going to give it a strong finish, and they gave it a strong finish. So look, the lessons in it, guys, before we get into table tennis. When we come out here and talk about some of these competitions, officials, organizers don't understand. It's just so because when Ilorin wants to put together an event, they should know what to do.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, the media is watching, the world is watching. So we must start doing things with best international practices.
Absolutely, Austin. I totally agree with you. And clearly, some persons might not be very comfortable with some of these things, but when things are not done right, you've got to put it out there. You've got to let them know, not because you're trying to spite anybody or trying to really lay into people, but you're trying to make them see, this can be done better. And there are lessons, clearly, Austin. Every time a tournament, a competition ends like this, lessons to be learned. We're not expecting perfection. We're hosting the Athletics Championship for the first time, and I'm very certain that the next time we host it, lessons would have been learned, somebody else will sit down and say, oh, we tried it this way, we need to try it this other way. So it's wonderful. Too many lessons learned for one tournament, but we're pleased that it ended on a high, and we give credit to the organizers because it's a tough job, really.
That's right, tough job. Joseph, in terms of infrastructure development, that stadium, the Stephen Okechi Stadium, now wasn't just for the African Athletics Championship. We can make it better. Host the all-comers there. Keep the stadium busy. And that's sports development there.
The governor said it while it was under construction, that it's not just for the athletics event. We want to see school children also, you know, have the opportunity of also participating. You can hold major inter-house sports involving different sections, local governments of the state. Get them to have a feel of first-class facilities so that when they go abroad, they will not be scared. I remember there was a time Clement Wester went to South Africa when Nigeria was playing South Africa, and he was lying on the floor on a very lush green grass. It was quite an embarrassing sight because in Nigeria, you don't get to see such a thing. Because when you expose these kids to first-class facilities, very early in their lives, you know, when they go out there, they don't, there isn't much time. They just mix, they just blend totally. You know, they don't feel as if they're not experiencing it for the first time. So that's the essence of having these facilities. I love the fact that we have this great infrastructure, but also we should incorporate, you know, the need to in terms of what's it called? We need to ensure that these facilities remain this way 5 years down the line, 4 years down the line. So we saw what happened with the stadium at Abuja.
Okay. So to the Delta State government or those persons in charge of that stadium in Asaba, don't say the competition has ended. Oh, let's go to sleep. No. Those flaws, those things that athletes complain about, they talked about lane 4, lane 6, lane 7. Can we go make it right? That's just what it is. Let's just make it world class so that we can use it and then use it to the benefit of sports development in Nigeria. That's the story. Let's bring the discussion back to Lagos. That's the venue for this year's International Table Tennis Federation competition tagged the Nigeria Open for 2018. What's the story? It served off today in Lagos, and the youngest players at the Nigeria Open for this year, they're the Mustapha brothers. Look at them right there. Guys, look at them right there. 9 and 10 years old. When I see young stars, everything in me just comes alive. They're from Borno State, and they got everyone talking today. They didn't win in Yoruba, but I was talking about them at 9, 10. It's gracious.
It's wonderful. Mustapha, Mustapha. Put those names in your head. Write it somewhere down, because this greatness on unveiling, it's quite wonderful. When you see youngsters like this get exposed at this level, it's wonderful. One of them said, I will win the Nigerian Open one day. And that was a bold statement, because he's been exposed to an environment where he's competing with some of the very best in the business, and it's quite wonderful that they were not faced at all, even though they didn't go on to win or qualify for the next stages. They were not faced at all. They showed their quality. Great talent in Austin, but the big question would always be, and that's our job, to ask this question. The big question would be, what happens next? What happens to the development of Mustapha and Musa? What happens to these youngsters? Are they going to get the right platform? Are they going to get the right resources and the right enablement to be able to build on from here? Because Austin, this is massive. This is monumental.
It's awesome. Joseph, Mustapha lost to Nigeria's Augustine Emmanuel 11-3, 11-12, 11-8 in the first group game, because they played with older players in the under-21 category. While his younger brother, Musa, lost his own match also to Toby Fallon, 11-3, 11-6, 11-2. But look at how excited they are. The passion is burning.
Absolutely.
We must put oil in it.
We should. You know, it reminds me a lot of Michael Phelps. Started swimming at the age of 7. You know, what you need to do when you see talents like this, I was discussing with Inyabon before we got on air, is that it's not rocket science. There's nothing esoteric about it.
See him happy. He's losing, but passion at play.
He has bought into the game without knowing if there is any financial benefit. This is raw, unadulterated talent. So what you do to things, fantastic talent like this, that you expose them. You mix it with their education.
That's right.
You attach them to academy.
That's right.
In the next 2-3 years, I expect these guys to be in China, playing with the best and not just playing with themselves. Because they need to get better at this act. And they cannot do it by just playing with the same set of people that they've been playing it. Sports has become highly sophisticated. There is sports science. There is a lot. You have to take care of their diet. You have to take care of, you know, their routine daily. You have to ensure, because if you don't give them the best of training, they are going to meet the best when they get to the Olympics. So what will happen? So you have to expose them to the best, ensure that they get the best of training, take them out. Austin, we must not allow these talents to just go like the others have gone. These are raw, unadulterated talent. They must be given the best treatment, opportunity out there to become world beaters. Look at, they already aiming. They want, Mustapha wants to be Timo Ball, saying that he's going to win the tournament.
That even knows Timo Ball.
Timo Ball, it's massive.
It's so heartwarming.
It is.
He has a role model in Timo Ball.
The level of awareness that these kids have, and to be able to play the way they've done. I mean, we mustn't let these guys go under.
It's sweet. Keep the name Mustapha and Mustapha. Mustapha is 9, while Mustapha is just is 9 actually, and Mustapha is 10. And they are playing brilliant table tennis at 9 and 10, already competing. We keep using one line, we say create an enabling environment. So at this stage, talent is delicate. You must put them somewhere, you must bake them, you must nurture them, put them in school, teach them the tenets, can make them become future champions. Thank you so much, Mustapha and Mustapha. Arguably are champions already. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, you grab your bats, I'll throw the ball, we'll play some cricket, so don't go anywhere. Stay.